Okay, so AI agents, they're all over the news, right? But what's the big deal? What actually makes them different from the chatbots we're all using every day? In this explainer, we're going to break it all down, from the AI brain to the autonomous systems that can actually act on their own.
I mean, you've definitely used a chatbot, right? To answer a quick question, maybe draft an email, but an autonomous agent, that's a whole different beast. It doesn't just respond to you, it takes action. So what is the key difference? Let's dive in and find out.
All right, so to really wrap our heads around what an agent is, we've got to start with its core, the powerhouse behind the whole operation. And that is the large language model, or as you've probably heard it, the LLM. Think about it like this. An LLM is like a brilliant, super knowledgeable brain, but it's stuck in a jar. It's read pretty much the entire internet, so its knowledge is just immense. It can write code, answer incredibly complex questions, you name it. But here's the catch. It can't do anything with that knowledge. It's trapped. It can't click a button, can't send an email for you, can't check your calendar. It just knows. So yeah, to put a more formal definition on it, an LLM is an AI model trained on just a mind-boggling amount of text. Its job is to understand and generate language that sounds human. This is our engine, our starting point. This is the powerhouse that we're about to give some hands and feet to. Okay, so we have this incredible brain stuck in a jar. How do we start to get it out? Well, the very first step is actually pretty simple. We just give it a voice. We create a way for us to talk to it and for it to talk right back to us. And bam, that's where the chatbot comes in. And honestly, that's it. That's all a chatbot really is at its core. It's that powerful LLM brain connected to something like a chat window, a conversational interface. You type in a prompt, the LLM does its magic, thinks up a response, and the interface just shows it to you. It's a two-way conversation. But this is where things get really interesting. A chatbot is fundamentally reactive. It just sits there waiting for you. But what if it didn't have to wait? What if you could give it a goal and it could figure out all the steps to get there completely on its own?
Well, that's where the secret sauce comes in, the magic that turns a simple chatbot into a truly powerful agent. It's all about having a framework for action, and one of the most important concepts here is called REACT. You can kind of think of it like the agent's basic operating system. REACT, as you may guess, stands for reason and act. And believe me, this is a total game changer. It's a continuous loop that finally gives the AI some real autonomy. So instead of just responding to a prompt, it can actually think, then take an action, and then, this is key, look at the result of that action to figure out what to do next. It's a cycle of progress.
And what's so cool about this is just how simple but powerful this three-step loop is. First, it reasons, it thinks. Okay, to plan a trip to Paris, I need to check some flights. Then it acts. It actually goes and uses a flight checking tool. And finally, it observes. It looks at results and thinks, whoa, okay, those flight prices are way too high. My next step should probably be to check the train instead. And that cycle just keeps going. Reason, act, observe, over and over until the job is done.
So you see, it's that action loop. That's the fundamental thing that separates a chatbot from a true AI agent. Let's actually put them side by side so you can see the difference crystal clear. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of it. A chatbot is passive. It's a conversationalist, sure, but it's waiting for your next instruction. An agent, on the other hand, is proactive. It's a task executor. You give it a big high-level goal, like, hey, plan my entire trip to Paris, and it just gets to work, figuring out every little step it needs to take all by itself. And this table just lays it all out perfectly. A chatbot's main job? Conversation. An agent's job? Getting things done. A chatbot responds to your prompts. An agent runs on that self-correcting react loop we just talked about. This gives agents a huge level of autonomy. And, this is super important, it allows them to use external tools. We're talking web browsers, APIs, your calendar, whatever it needs to get the job done in the actual real world. So let's wrap this up. When you take that brilliant LLM brain and you give it an action loop, you get something totally new. A proactive agent that can actually tackle complex, multi-step tasks. It can think for itself, it can do things, and it can learn from what it does. Which leaves us with the big question. Now that these agents can reason, act, and observe all on their own, what tasks are they going to automate for us next?